So I'd like to introduce our first poet tonight. Her name is Charlotte Abernathy. She's an Ashland poet. She's been published in many anthologies and books and is an award-winning poet, has won quite a few awards. I think you're going to enjoy her.
There's a sign on Sky Bear that says, "Please don't pet me," but it didn't say, "Please don't step."
Might needs to be spoken into.
Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about the advice that says we should live in the moment, but the truth is there's a lot of moments that need to be lived in more than once, and that's one of the things I love about poetry. It gives you a chance to condense and shape and get back into a moment and find out what it really meant. So I'm going to read you 3 short poems that have to do with moments in my past that I felt were worth revisiting. The first one is when I discovered late in my life something about my mother. Glamour. I'm watching a black and white movie from the 30s, watching slinky dames in satin gowns teasing their befuddled men, swirling furs and twirling pearls, not a single strand of silky upswept hair undone. So different from my mother in those long pre-war Depression years. Always pregnant, her hair in her face, her breath coming hard, her steps coming slow, from a cellar full of laundry and home canned food. How she must have yearned for that fantasy life. How she tried to fit her dream to me with that bulky prom dress she made from crackling taffeta. How her eyes shone from our dual image in the mirror. When you've lived with someone for decades, 4 decades, his memories and dreams and experiences begin to seem like yours. So this is an experience from my late husband's childhood. It's called Dreaming Alabama. Actually, childhood and later life too. You're 5, back at the farm, swinging on the glider in the buzzing arbor, sucking scuppernong grapes from their skins, listening to fat Aunt Minnie rant about white trash as she fans manic bees from her famous banana caramel cake. Star of every Sunday family picnic, sloppy rich, almost melting in the heat. And you wake up longing for the sweetness, almost tasting it, almost willing to endure those sweltering summers from long ago, chiggers, sunburns, and skinned knees, but not those older boy cousins teasing you, tormenting you, calling you a sissy for the long, girly curls your mother couldn't bear to cut, insulting your southern boy pride, until you were roused to fury, swung a 2x4 at the biggest and meanest, knocking him flat out. A feat punished by your father's belt, though he bragged about you later. And now, even as your morning shower washes away your Alabama dream, you're still possessed by those sweet hungers and undercurrents of hot rage. And the last one is a joint experience we had early in our married life that reflects the love-hate relationship we had for the South. Screened porch. Before we headed west, we waited out that last long, hot southern summer in his parents' small house on their dwindling family farm in Alabama. Each evening at dusk, when it began to cool down, we escaped to the screened porch, relishing time alone, safe from swarms of mosquitoes, away from the clammy refrigerated indoor air and loud TV voices in the living room, where flocked wallpaper surrounded the framed image of Jesus holding a lamb, where carpet muffled every inch of the pine floors, where both double-hung windows were sealed shut and proudly upholstered with heavy draperies of rose damask, stiffly and precisely folded under deep box valances. A closed room as well padded as an expensive coffin. As dark came on, we snuggled closer, rocking slowly on the white metal glider, listening to crickets, doves, and mockingbirds, breathing the sweet smell of mown hay as moist air gentled our skin to velvet. A caress we longed for later in our drier life out west.